Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I want to try something with my Cricut that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and that is to make a stencil. So there are actually some pre-made stencils in Design Space, but today I'm going to design my own. I will make sure to link everything that I use down below. Otherwise, let's go. I am going to start out with making a shape. I'm going to do a square, and we're going to go ahead and make that square 5 by 5, and we will just fill it in white right there, and that's going to be the basis for my stencil. We're going to start off with a simple shape. Let's go with triangles, and we will make this super small, maybe not too small. Maybe about there, and let's see if we can kind of make a triangle stencil. So I will just copy and paste that, or you can press the duplicate button right over here, and I'm going to space that across here. And you can see I'm just kind of roughly putting them where I want them because I'll be able to change that up in just a bit and make sure that they are all lined up appropriately. So let's do this. Okay, so I have all of these together, and I am holding down the shift key and clicking each triangle so that they are all selected. And then I'm going to go to the align button, and I'm going to align them on the bottom. And then I'm going to click the align button again, and I'm going to distribute horizontally, meaning making them evenly spaced like so. Okay, at this point, I have my first row done, and there might be a better way to do this, but this is how I have figured out to do this. I'm going to come over to the right side where I see all of my different shapes. I'm going to select the square, press the shift key, and also select the first triangle. And then I'm going to come down to this slice tool right here, click slice, and now you can see I have other pieces here. So what I will do is then come back. It shows the result. I can delete this one. I'll just press the delete button, and then I'm going to send this particular shape, I'm going to send it a little bit farther back, send it back, and now I have all my shapes again. So now I will let me delete my slice result, and this is the slice result that I'm wanting to keep. So you can see that I have my triangle cut out. So now I'll select, the slice result, and the next, the next triangle, slice result. I will click slice again. Okay, the slice result I want to keep is this one. So I'm going to send that to the back. I don't want to keep the white triangle. I will delete that. I don't want to keep the black triangle. I will delete that. And ta-da! You can see this is the process I'll follow. So again, next triangle, do that. Select 2 at a time only. Press slice. I want to keep the slice result. I'm going to send it to the back. This particular one, I'm actually going to put to the side because I want to keep that for later. So I have the same triangle shape, and then I will delete this one, and now I have that shape. So I will keep going with this method, sending it to the back each time it's in the back, and now I will delete this, and keep working through it. Okay, now I have my first row of triangles done. The next row of triangles that I wanted would be right about there. Let me give that just a little bit more space. So I'm going to duplicate this triangle and try to space these relatively close to where I wanted them. Finish filling in this row of triangles. And then I'll go through the same process of slicing through this piece to create one cohesive image. First, I will group all of these. I'm holding the Shift key and clicking each triangle. I want to align these this time at the top because I want them to come up just a little bit, and then I will distribute horizontally, evenly spaced, and now following the same procedure, selecting two things at a time, I will slice. All right, so a little bit tedious, but I do have my final shape. The pros of putting it all into one shape as opposed to just grouping and attaching objects would be that I can now adjust the size of this. I can even unlock up here and adjust to the exact size that I want to. We're going to go back to 5 by 5. So I will change it up here, 5 by 5. Just to make sure it's ready to go. Now I'm going to click Make It as it sorts it. We're going to start out by just cutting this out of cardstock, which is pretty easy to do. You can certainly cut out stencils out of cardstock and reuse them several times. Then you'll actually have the stencil pattern saved, so you could recut it if you were interested. So I will press Continue and we'll find the maker and then cut it out of cardstock. All right, once it's done, you can unload the mat and then pull off your stencil and it's ready to use with cardstock. Like I said, you could probably use this a few times and then recut it if you wanted, but I also wanted to try cutting it with a different material. Okay, we are actually going to try using a cutting board, a plastic cutting board from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to try stencil film and we'll see how it goes. More pressure. And you know what? I want to edit. It says fine point. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to put it on the strong bond sheet and then put it through the Cricut and see what happens. Okay, let's see if this works. So we pull it off the sheet and it did not go through. So no worries. We are going to try again with a different setting. So the stencil film did not work. Let's try a different setting. Okay, this time I'm just gonna pick basswood because it's thicker. It is telling me to put in my knife blade, which sounds correct to me. So I will do that and we will give this one a try. Okay, so I'm gonna switch this out, take out the regular fine point blade, put in the knife blade, and let's see how this one goes. So it has gone halfway through the cutting. I think it's done actually. So I just press pause. I'm going to unload it and you can see, of course, all of the little triangle bits and pieces. But I will be able to take this off the board and ta-da! I have a stencil of my very own that I will be able to use over and over and over again. It is a little bit of a tedious process for sure because it takes a long time to cut. The settings are a little bit wonky because there's not a specific setting for this. I think that setting it for the wood setting got the job done, but like I said, about halfway through I could press pause, but it still took about an hour to cut this out, which is, you know, not for the faint of heart. This is certainly doable. You could do it fast, easy, toss it when you didn't need it anymore and just save all your stencils. This is one that I will be able to keep for a while. So just something to consider. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. A huge shout out to all of my YouTube members. Thank you so much for your support. If you're interested in finding out more about membership and the perks that they receive, make sure you click the join button below. I hope that you have a fabulous day and as always, keep it creative.